All right, we have here another audio roundtable. This time it's Once-Ler, that's right, from the Lorax. And we have here Warlord, Smatty, and FA to review it with us.
Hello. That's also Aggie there during the introduction, because he's too
Right,
pussy
right.
to actually do the round table.
Yeah, I'll just
Yes.
be leaving
It's
forever
just,
now.
well,
So,
I just love this set much. He insisted on roundtabling it before Edgy had a chance to read.
okay, go ahead and discuss that. I'll be muting my mic and doing other things.
All right, then. So, yeah, the topic we were just talking about before we started this recording was just the grab, not the actual contents of the grab, just the fact that it doesn't actually grab.
Yes.
That would be one thing, like when he's fighting people with shields, but he doesn't have any actual grab move to replace the grab, does he?
Well, he has a grab somewhere. I forget what move it is.
Oh,
It
it's
might...
up tilt.
Yeah, isn't it? It doesn't he also have the up special, which is like a hugely long range grab? Or it's
Uh,
tougher.
I don't think
Yeah.
that actually grabs people.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the up tilt in the back air grab, but not the claw.
Yeah, it seemed odd to me. Like if he's grabbing some, you'd think with a particular size, it wouldn't just tether you to the opponent or something.
I love how with that claw, it's just attached to the machine, but when it attaches to a tree, it launches Once-Ler at Fox's dash speed somehow.
I don't know if that's that bad. I mean, the backpack is attached to him.
Oh. I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, some of the screenshots in this set seem kind of weird. Like, especially the woodcuts. I wasn't sure what that looked
What
like
I
until I
thought the
watched.
most awkward illustration was that bloody F smash. I had no idea what he was talking about there.
Looks like just a boot on a spring.
And then he just linked a picture of the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Although a lot of the pictures seem like they were captured from that "How Bad Can This Be" song, so they all have really extreme.
Oh, that song.
I have not watched it.
I don't like the song at all. Especially going and watching the cartoon just now. It takes a lot of the imagery, but it just does it in such an icky way. It just feels so wrong the way they abuse that imagery. Just like in a few short seconds, they just go through all of it without actually touching on the same stuff the cartoon did.
I would like to just say this moveset is terrible for not doing it for the original one, but he specifically made the moveset for this version, and this version doesn't have nearly as much to work with as the original version.
I like a really odd thing too is that the new special is a cigar from the old Once-Ler, and that would work if this was the same character, but it's a completely different character. It's like a kid. So
It's a completely different character.
Does the down special even do anything relevant? Like,
it's
just kind of
a smoke screen. It obscures your traps, and it hurts the Lorax.
It lights the trail on fire, I guess. But even if you were making a set for the original Once-Ler, it would still feel kind of awkward to have the neutral special cigar.
It's the first move listed.
Yeah. Like, even in the cartoon, he just kind of smokes his cigar passively. He's not, like, using it to do anything. I could see that like a tilt, perhaps, but not on the neutral special.
Well, it'd be one thing if you just did generic cigar smoke as, like, a standard on the classic, or it's just a special on this one that doesn't really do that.
Yeah, and the one problem the set really has from the start is that the mechanics are just really weird, really awkward in how they work.
Oh god, that Lorax mechanic.
It seems like Lorax is literally just showing up in the fight just to literally plant seeds for Once-Ler to cut down. And the woodcutter, I don't know. Like, I swear that could have just been like a summon or something. It didn't need a mechanic.
The Lorax, I know this is sort of a number crunching-ish complaint, but that mechanic actually seems like you could never feasibly plant a tree ever, because the Lorax will disappear on hit from anything.
Yeah, the opponent doesn't want
once
you.
every 20 seconds.
Yeah, the opponent won't want you to get any trees because that means so much for you and so little for them. So they'll just hit the Lorax immedially.
And because the Lorax didn't suck enough already, he's like trying to thwart you.
Remember that this isn't the thing that I found that worked about the Lorax mechanic. June, who's actually talking about this essay, it's just that the Lorax is just stalking the ones planting trees. He just knows they get cut down.
Yeah, like I said this earlier in Zap, but it seems weird that the moveset seems to be planting seeds everywhere. Like he's actually invading space and planting seeds there, and that just seems completely opposite to what the message of the fiction seems to be, which is that he has his own environment of the
Well, it's
trees.
especially stupid that he's just stalking the Once-Ler for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think what also is awkward is that there are so many logic problems in the set, but how the trees grow in like I don't know, like what is it, like 10 seconds or something? Like it's a short amount of time, and yet in the fiction they take like 10 years to grow.
No.
That's
Yeah,
like the whole point. Just growing them in like 10 seconds is like, well, if that was actually true, then this whole story wouldn't have happened.
I think a good way to have gone with this that wouldn't have been any more hippo than what this did would just be the trees are already there and emphasize that once they're down, they don't bloody come back.
Yeah, that would have gone across the actual messages of the fiction a lot better, because then you have to
Oh,
use the resource well before it just completely gets obliterated.
Yeah.
It's like an ammo bank, I guess, but
another thing that just kind of bugs me is how little he actually uses the woodcutter. Like, it literally has one input dedicated to it, I think.
Well,
Oh,
it
yeah,
has
two.
more than one, but yeah, he doesn't really emphasize it that much when he just has all of these moves where he just chops with a single axe instead.
Yes.
and the
Because-
woodcutter doesn't seem even that important, really. In the movie, he just seems to have it as like a token machine that cuts down trees in that one song. In the cartoon, it's kind of like a joke, one-off, and then in the set, it's like a special mechanic.
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing against it being used, but if anything, I haven't actually seen this new film, obviously, but in the cartoon, they're just all of these random ass machines that he has, and there's just this woodcutter in the set, and then he's just mostly chopping things down directly. In this move set feels weird.
Yeah, like in the cartoon at least, yeah, he never actually does cut himself, really, apart from like the first couple. Then he has all the machines.
Well, yeah,
that
that's when he's just starting up the chain. Then he just gets all of this industrial stuff in and people to work for him and grab.
Dr. Seuss Once-Ler could actually be a really cool set. Someone get on that.
That is pretty much what I was talking about right before this call, Hippo.
Yeah, that could be cool. I think that's a way better character than this one from the new Lorax film. That
Dave
cartoon's really
loves this
good.
character for some reason. I mean, I guess you could say, like, I don't know.
Well, talking about the film, like they didn't really have much choice but to go in some direction like this, but that's probably irrelevant to the set.
I don't know. I don't like the concept of the Once-Ler just being some good guy who got corrupted and then all of a sudden, like, feels bad at the end.
Yeah,
Much more
but
sinister in the original.
I guess what's more important though is
We're
does he
talking
actually,
about the moveset, though.
yeah, like
Yeah,
in the
that's
moveset,
true.
does he actually pull off this character well? Like to me, it didn't seem like he pulled it off that well. If
He just ties them down and then just has them, like, burn next to a tree.
it seems kind of sadistic, really. Like even original Once-Ler, who's a lot more evil than the new one, he would never just straight up like burn down the trees just to kill opponents with them.
Yeah.
In fact,
Most of the good stuff in the moveset is taken from the Dr. Seuss Once-Ler, though. There isn't really that much of this. I didn't really get a feel for this different character that much at all from this moveset.
yeah, it's weird. It's like Dave doesn't really know why he likes his character. He just kind of throws everything in there.
Yeah.
Although the coolest stuff is from the original Once-Ler. I don't think this new one has much good stuff about him, really.
Yeah.
But I guess, like I just said, it's not important to the moveset itself. Although it's easy to get stuck on it because that old cartoon is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, just having the Lorax as a tool feels really awkward to me. Like you really don't need the Lorax there. Maybe in the final Smash, sure, because it's a final Smash. But just having him appear all the time at random, it just feels like the wrong way to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of really tacky stuff in the set in general. You have stuff like the generic drag down up aerial.
I think the moveset the character is supposed to be very tacky, but honestly, if anything, there's really, whenever he does anything that is tacky, he just kind of does very, very, very obvious things just with set this trail of sloppity slop oil on fire, and then when he's not doing that, it's just choppity chop 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 so many axe moves.
And didn't you just love how the side special gets rid of the axe moves completely if you use it? So you just throw away the axe like Jason Voorhees when you just completely screw it over if they don't want to attack you up close.
Foolproof there.
And yeah, I think FA is right. Like, it's so hard to even get one tree up, let alone a bunch of them. That if you're going to use the side special and just cut them all down at once, it just seems like a complete waste.
So like, you never get to use the grab game, which is the point where his game comes together at all. So all it seems like
I don't
he's really
think
doing
the grab game with all of the. I think Catapulter made a very good point. It's not like. It's definitely not like the. That has to be the point or anything, but just. What's the purpose of it at all, really? I don't see why I need to shape all these things from the truffula of fruits or whatever. Like, chopping the tree down is blatantly the main actual purpose of the trees.
Yeah.
Just to hit them with it as it comes down.
On
yes,
the
that's
grab
just
game,
brilliant play style there.
On the grab game, though, I think he compares it to Beeswax, but with Beeswax, that was a character who automatically does damage just by moving. Without a grab here, it just feels like he's completely useless in a competitive environment.
Well, I thought that he should just probably use the Thneed or whatever to create various things on just inputs and then just use them to attack the foe on that input. Don't think you really need a grab game for that.
Yeah, like it feels like a blatant special. I think that's the worst part of the set for me is that the specials just seem like half of them seem completely random on those inputs. They could easily be less important inputs, and there's lots of stuff in the set that could be easily changed and made into specials to replace them, like the woodcut, for example. It feels very, very messy of how it executes itself.
What bugs me about this is that there's not really much positive to say about it either. Like, I guess it's trying to be playgroundy, but it doesn't really succeed at it, and those aspects are just so impractical.
Well, it says in the
it's hard to be playgroundy when the Lorax is just doing so much of his own thing, and you have to just base everything you do off of what he does.
Well, if you manage to somehow get the Thneed, clearly you can just make that stupid platform, and then it's like, okay, the Lorax won't play.
You have to already. The Lorax has to already be cooperating with you to get that far in the first place.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, like, I actually sort of like that interaction, but why doesn't that happen when he just, like, dumps the goop on the ground either? That doesn't make sense. Like, why would he plant it in the goop?
I would disagree with Dave when he says that in the playstyle it's a sandbox set, because to me it felt like it had a very obvious flowchart from using the tree as a KO or use it to make the Thneed with the grab game. The sandbox part, I guess, is when you interact with the trees, but the trees aren't really that open-ended, and they're so specific when they turn up, even if it's at random where the Lorax is, that you really just have to work around them. It's not like it gives you much freedom.
Yeah, you don't really have that much you can even do with the trees. I mean, you can make the grab game stuff, and I guess you can set them on fire. That's really it.
And yeah, most of the set is just based around just cutting down the trees when the trees aren't really going to be appearing much anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if they're actually attacking the Lorax, which they probably would be.
Part of the reason I felt it so important to talk about the 1972 cartoon Once-Ler so much is it just felt this character just has so much potential, and this, like with David sets, you can usually just give him some token pity just for the character he's doing, but this character, you can just do so much with this bloody character. It feels like such a waste.
Even on the more higher, this guy might have more potential than even the higher potential stuff that David did, like Dutchman or Marvin.
I think the problem, though, is he's not really making a set for the character. He seems like he's making a set for the film, especially with the mechanics. Like, pretty much the whole film is just Lorax plants trees, he kills the trees, then he uses them to make his crap, and then the ending happens, but that is completely ignored because that's not even involving the Once-Ler, but the set pretty much is the entire, like, first half of the film. Just completely copied and pasted, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but here it seems to undercut the entire character, so you don't get any feel for the character at all. I actually did enjoy some of the set, small parts, like the stuff that's copied from the first Once-Ler. The gadgetry I liked in concept. The way that the trail worked was alright. I do like the idea of just being able to destroy the trees, even if the trees don't trim up that much. I guess you could put down the tree shortage problem to number crunching a lot. The woodcutter works kind of weirdly. If you flowed more into it, I could actually see the set being okay if it was more just simplistic and cut out a lot of the stuff. Like the Lorax could be probably cut out completely if he went the route that Warlord said and just had trees everywhere at the start. That'd be a very easy change. So it's not all bad, I don't think, but I think it's mostly badly executed. It has some good ideas, but
even with the tree cutting down, I feel like that's kind of overly simplistic, since all you really do is just put him under the tree, cut the tree down. Yeah, I don't even think he's good at like zoning them underneath the tree. So
I thought it was silly how the tree is actually a KO move when you cut it down.
Well, the tree is very large, so it has plenty of range when you cut it down. They don't have to be that right up against it or anything.
that also really seems to be his only KO move.
This set does not have a mechanic-based KO move. I don't know what you're talking about, FA.
No, clearly not.
Yes, why don't you get to your final impressions now, FA?
I did not like it at all. I mean, I really could not find anything particularly positive to say about the set. I mean, I feel like Dave is trying, but it just nothing really worked out. I mean, there were a couple interactions that I thought were okay, I guess. I don't know. Just generally bad set. Probably one of my least favorite of David's, and I'm not too big on his sets to begin with, so.
And my turn. I basically see the set as pretty much mostly plays like a brawl character with just hitting them with the axe and then ignoring the number crunching with the Lorax. It's pretty much just you chop at the foe with the axe, then a tree eventually grows, and then you just chop the tree down on top of the foe to KO them, and that's pretty much the whole set, if you ask me. A lot of the other stuff is, most obviously the grab game is really unnecessary. Like, the down smash oil slop crap can help a little, but yeah, what little interactions there are, just they're not focused on enough. It's just not good enough for this, for how much potential this bloody character has, if you ask me.